Welcome to the world of Elia Learning. This chapter is an extract from Nelson Mandela's autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, which chronicles the historic inauguration of South Africa's first democratic, non-racial government on May 10, 1994. The extract delves into certain key events in Mandela's life leading up to his inauguration as South Africa's first black president. It recounts the transition from the oppressive apartheid system to a non-racial democracy, marking the end of centuries of white supremacy. It also talks about his molding into a man of purpose. Mandela also sheds light on the oppressive policy of apartheid. He recounts the discrimination faced by the non-whites in South Africa and the struggle for their emancipation. To understand Long Walk to Freedom, one must first understand the brutal system Nelson Mandela fought to dismantle. That is, apartheid, derived from the Afrikaans word meaning apartness or separation. Apartheid was a legal framework of racial separation that governed South Africa from 1948 until 1994. It was a harsh, institutionalized legal system of racial segregation that was put in place by the white minority population to ensure their domination over the non-white majority. Apartheid was not merely a social prejudice, but a system designed to enforce political, social, and economic segregation specifically on racial grounds. The racist regime treated black South Africans as second-class citizens and kept them separate from white society. They lived in significantly poorer conditions and with drastically fewer opportunities in life. Consequently, the system created a legacy of hardship. By denying equal opportunities in life, the system ensured that many black children in South Africa grew up in poverty. This legacy of inequality lasted until the system finally ended in 1994. One must view Mandela's struggle for dignity and the eventual establishment of a non-racial democracy against this backdrop of an extraordinary human disaster. Getting back to the extract, the chapter can be broken down into certain key parts. 1. The inauguration. 2. A shift in power. 3. Reflections on history and courage. 4. The twin obligations. 5. The evolution of freedom. And finally, freedom. The inauguration. After more than 3 centuries of white rule and a lifetime of struggle by the African National Congress, Nelson Mandela is sworn in as South Africa's first black president. The ceremony takes place in the sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Politicians and dignitaries from around the world attend Mandela's inauguration. Mandela describes the gathering as a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations, signifying the end of the extraordinary human disaster of apartheid. In his inaugural address, Mandela pledges to liberate his people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, and discrimination, declaring that the land would never again experience the oppression of one by another. A shift in power. Mandela highlights a profound symbolic shift during the ceremony when the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and Police salute and pledge their loyalty to him. He notes that just a few years prior, the same officials would have arrested him. The event was further symbolized by the singing of the 2 national anthems in a spectacular military flyover that demonstrated the military's new loyalty to democracy. Whites sang Kosi Sikelele e Afrika and the non-whites sang Destan. Reflections on history and courage. Mandela reflects on the cruel history of apartheid, describing it as one of the harshest and most inhumane systems the world has ever seen. He acknowledges that his presidency was made possible only through the sacrifice and courage of thousands of African patriots who fought against the system. He also notes that decades of oppression had the unintended effect of producing extraordinary leaders of immense courage and character. From his comrades in the struggle, Mandela admits he learned that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. He also expresses a profound belief in human goodness, stating that no one is born hating another person because of the color of their skin. Mandela argues that since hatred is learned, people can be taught to love, which he believes comes more naturally to the human heart. The twin obligations. Mandela explains that every person has twin obligations in life, one to their family and another to their people and country. However, under the apartheid regime in South Africa, it was almost impossible for a man of his birth and color to fulfill both of these duties without being punished and isolated. The evolution of freedom. Mandela traces how his understanding of freedom evolved as he grew older. He reflects on the immense sacrifices made by countless patriots and describes how his understanding of liberty evolved from personal desires to a lifelong mission for national liberation. He admits that what started as a childhood illusion of freedom for him turned into a desire for basic, honorable rights as he grew into a young man. His overwhelming desire for his people to live with dignity and self-respect transformed him from a frightened young man to a bold one and turned a life-loving man into a man without a home. Mandela shares how his understanding of freedom changed over time. As a boy, he recounts he felt born free, concerned only with simple pleasures like swimming and running in the fields. As a student and young man, he sought transitory freedoms for himself, such as staying out at night or doing as he pleased. As an adult, he realized that his own freedom and the freedom of all black South Africans was curtailed. This realization led him to join the African National Congress, where his hunger for freedom became a hunger for the dignity of his people. Freedom. Ultimately, Mandela concludes that freedom is indivisible and that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. For anyone who takes away another's freedom is himself a prisoner of hatred. He argues that the chains on any one of his people were chains on all of them. We will now go into the explanations of the chapter and explore the theme and the literary devices used in the extract. The theme. The theme revolves around the struggle for justice, the evolving nature of freedom, and the power of human resilience. The literary devices. In this extract from Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela uses a variety of literary devices to convey the deep emotional resonance, the harsh realities of apartheid, and the profound triumph of democracy. Metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech that shows analogy or likeness between two things. The metaphors used in the extract are rainbow gathering. This describes the diverse assembly of people from different nations and races at the inauguration, likening the unity of various cultures to the colors of a rainbow. Twilight existence. It describes the half-secret life of those who rebelled against the system, living in the metaphorical shadows between sunset and darkness. Bars of prejudice. Mandela describes the oppressor as being locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness, suggesting that hatred is also a form of imprisonment. Newborn liberty. It compares the freshly achieved freedom of the nation to a newborn child that requires hope and glory. Simile. Simile is a figure of speech that compares one thing to another by using the words like and as. His people as diamonds. He describes his comrades as finer and truer than the purest diamonds, comparing their moral worth to South Africa's literal mineral wealth. Like a monk, he describes his later life of sacrifice as being forced to live like a monk to serve the cause of freedom.